Food. It is the essential to all human beings. We need it, we crave it. Food is the source of energy for mankind to carry out various processes within the body whilst allowing us to move. In the past, food supply was scarce. Human beings struggled to find sufficient food during trying times. Now, as technology proceeded to grow, food production technology has been able to automate and streamline food production, whilst cutting costs and saving time. Food supply increased in the world, and now it has become easier for humans to obtain food in easier, quicker, and cheaper ways. Thousands of packagings of food fill up store shelves, patiently waiting for consumers to come and grab them. From options such as chips to chocolates, all ready for immediate consumption. Frozen foods designed specifically for convenience that take only a few minutes to prepare have also become popular. The average household has become dependent on packaged foods due to their convenience and delicious taste. However, in exchange for convenience, we traded the well-being of our health. Here, we can see someone walking over to a convenience store to grab some snacks after a long day of work. She sees a snack that looks perfectly healthy and delicious. She stares at the back of the packaging to see all the ingredients listed. Then she looks at the nutrition information. There's a hidden, untold secret to all the labels, but the average person wouldn't be able to understand what it all means, and it flies all under their radars. That in her hands is an example of an ultra-processed food, also known as a UPF. I'm here to explain what a UPF is. Who are you? Now, a UPF sounds scary. There's no way I could have been consuming such a thing. But you might not realize it, but you've been consuming UPFs all your life. Now, let's turn to this person, for example. How much UPFs do you think you consume in a week?
Give me my tips back.
I've been too busy to spend at home, so I've just been eating store-bought food throughout this week.
Would you say there's any obvious significant impacts on your health after you regularly started to eat store-bought food?
Not in particular, no, but I think I must feel a little more fatty than before after I started this diet for quite a few months now.
Well, UPFs can bring you a lot of negative effects to your health. But before we elaborate on the negative impacts of consuming UPFs, we first have to understand what a UPF is. So, let's go to a food processing factory to see how foods can be ultra-processed. So now we have arrived at our local food processing factory where we will see how food is processed. So here we have the lead food scientist here at this factory. So can you tell me a little bit about how the food is processed in order to make the food products?
To ease the process, we break down basic ingredients like corn, wheat, and potatoes into small molecular parts. This product is called as slurries. Basically, we use the slurries to make our food product as per our need. The explanation is more complicated than that.
In more thorough explanation, this starch slurry is then used to create starch-based sugar and other derivatives through a process similar to hydrolysis.
Sound familiar? Well, hydrolysis, as you may know, is the process that our body undergoes in order to digest food. So this means that essentially ultra-processed foods are almost equivalent to pre-digested foods.
Then, what does it mean for us consumers that consume this product? Obesity is the biggest health crisis in the United States, and this surge of obesity in the nation can be very well linked to the ultra-processed food. This means that ultra-processed foods are incapable of providing our bodies with the sufficient amount of nutrients while giving us more calories in the process. Furthermore, researchers have shown that eating ultra-processed food causes an individual to gain more weight as compared to minimally processed food, even in the same amount of calorie intake. Participants on the ultra-processed diet gained an average of 2 pounds while losing an equivalent amount of weight while on the minimally processed diet.
Now, what can we do to fix this epidemic of ultra-processed food that have been going on for years? We could start the change by preventing or at least slowing down the issue. Calls have been made to legislate or restrict the marketing and supply of this manufactured ultra-processed food products in favor of minimally processed ones. Taxation has been a major policy used to discourage consumption of UPFs. For example, specific sugar-based taxes have been introduced in the United Kingdom, UK, and South Africa. After conversion rates of existing taxes vary from a small percentage tax up to 50% tax on SSBs and 4 to 10% tax on packaged food. Then, we can focus on promoting healthy eating by both fiscal policy and encouraging healthy whole foods. By introducing subsidies and incentives towards the production of healthier foods, it could become cheaper and more affordable for food manufacturers to produce healthier food and discourage the production of UPFs even further. Consumers should also be educated on the dangers of UPFs, where stricter laws involving labels on food packaging could be enacted, so it is easier for the consumer to understand the health implications of overconsumption of these UPFs. Labels that signify the consumer of the level of processing in the food could help more consumers to identify and avoid UPFs. Furthermore, more research in improving and re-engineering our unhealthy food system should be encouraged. Investment into technologies that can preserve the nutritional quality of raw ingredients such as freeze-drying, cold pressing, and high-pressure processing that does not involve additive should be considered. Artificial preservatives and flavoring could be swapped in favor of natural plant-based methods like antioxidant from plants or fermentation techniques. Currently, food scientists are looking into methods in reducing added sugar, trans fats, and sodium in processed food. In addition, food technology can be used to add more nutrition required by a human body into processed foods. Consumers should also be encouraged to switch to home-cooked meals in order to minimize consumption of UPFs.
In conclusion, ultra-processed foods have been dominating our food stocks and bringing together a considerable amount of negative health implications with them.
Although decades of food processing technology have done its damage, some measures could still be taken to address and undo the harm of UPFs on human food production. So it isn't too late now to reconsider your plans for your next meal and take steps into improving your health in the long run.
We hope that this documentary was able to give our viewers understanding about UPF, its dangers, and also what can we do to avoid them. So that's all for our documentary, and thank you.